Parliament, including the hospital.
Thank you.
JB, traders, bus owners.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Members, I'm coming this side.
Right Honorable Speaker, the topic of tax, I would have perhaps a very divergent view. We have, over time, thought that the solution to some of these issues is widening the tax base. Looks very attractive. We can widen the tax base. But there is one important aspect. Even the meager, the monies that we collect from these taxes, there's a lot of hemorrhage. There's a bigger problem, Right Honorable Speaker, that we have got to deal with as a country, and that is the issue of corruption. If we do not stamp our feet and realize that this is the biggest enemy we have as a country, we shall keep widening the tax base, and we shall always be realizing that we are not able to fill the basket. But importantly, it is very interesting, and I want to associate myself with the submission of my colleague Yona. When you give tax incentives to the people who are supposed to be able to give taxes, to pay taxes, and you go and tax the poor person, and is the one carrying that big basket of these people, I think we are not having a proper plan. If we as a parliament resolve that any tax incentive to be given, because a tax is a creature of statute, any tax incentive which is given, if we have not approved, nothing should be done. But people have gone behind parliament to give these tax incentives. We have requested for lists to be tabled in this parliament. I have not seen the lists being tabled of the people who have the tax incentives. So, Right Honorable, if you gave a timeline for even Minister of Finance to table that list, it can be that we are moving in the correct direction. I beg to submit, Right Honorable.
Honorable Minister, take note.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Not you, first before you. I will tell you to stand up.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for bringing this issue forward. Right Honorable Speaker, sometimes I fail to understand why URA is failing to undertake voluntary tax compliance with their businesses. Right Honorable Speaker, in some places, if you go to, like in West Nile, when people hear about the URA, people are running away, the business owners. Why is business not operating in a way that URA advises our people to do a better business? Look at the situation in West Nile, where URA is collecting money by chasing people, and their death case is reported. Right Honorable Speaker, we expect by now URA to have massive tax education, because our businesses are recovering from COVID. People have been in COVID. People lost a lot of businesses. But now again, you are coming with a situation where you want to chase traders out of their businesses. Where do they want our people to go? Right Honorable Speaker. Really, as Parliament, we need to help our own people to see that they are in businesses. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I also want to talk about the tax holiday given to big companies, to investors. And when they are given the tax holiday, they do the manufacture of items. But again, like my colleagues had already talked about, the issue of the manufacturers, the investors, taking the same items directly to the villages where they sell their items without paying tax. But we need to note, Madam Speaker, that our traders, for example, in Rukungiri recently, a trader called me and was complaining about manufacturers who make items, and the traders come and buy the items from them. And remember, these traders, when they sell items, that's when we get our VAT. But again, their items which they buy and put in their stock become dead stock because the manufacturers come directly and sell to the supposed to be their customers. I think government needs to pronounce itself on this to stop manufacturers from carrying items to the district directly to the people in the communities.
Thank you, Nyachi. Nyachi, Flora.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I think this issue of IFRIS is a good issue for widening the tax base. However, it came at a time when traders are suffocated with taxes. And I believe this is their opportunity now to come up and speak about their challenges. Right Honorable Speaker, as members have talked about the high taxes on garments, and sometimes I wonder how the Ministry of Finance and Planning plan for the country. They said they are raising taxes in order to stop Ugandans from importation of these other clothes. And as we are seated here, I'm wondering who is putting on a cloth made in Uganda. There are very few. And if you look in our budgets, how much money, for instance, have we budgeted for cotton production and silk-culture growing in our country so that we can manufacture these clothes within the country as we continue to suffocate the importation of garments? So for me, I think as we plan for increased taxes on certain materials, let us look at what the substitution that we have back home in order to suffocate the other things that we import from outside. Right Honorable Speaker, over the weekend I attended a function where there were traders from Chikubo. When they invited me to talk, they almost said, shut up, because I think they are tired of the taxes. They said, members of parliament, you are not helping us. What are you going to talk about? The same things members are talking about. They are complaining about those manufacturers that are given tax holidays for a very long period of time. And yet they focus on very few, traders. And that's where they are squeezing this one, that one, and at the end of the day, they are running out of business. Madam Speaker, I think the Ministry of Finance needs to revise the taxes that they're imposing on our people, but also looking at those manufacturers that are given tax holidays for so long, putting our members out of business. Madam Speaker, when the government releases money trickles down to the consumers, and we are capable of buying things from Chikubo, from shops, from retail shops. Madam Speaker, I've been complaining about how government has defaulted in paying people that does business with them. If they default paying people that do business with government 4 years, 5 years, people are demanding for money. How do you expect business now to take off? People are suffocated. That's why they're even crying. IFRIS is not bad because it is supposed to bring many people on board. But people are suffocated. They are complaining. They've run out of business. Government has defaulted. They are not paying people. Where should people go right now? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. And because government is not paying, people end up on money lenders. And which money lenders charge very highly. Flora,
Thank you,
Catherine.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm a businesswoman in Kampala for the last 20 years. But I had to close one of my businesses beginning of this year because of VAT. VAT is, many people are closing businesses. There are so many women I know that I started with business in Kampala that have run out more than 20. Right, Honorable Speaker, when you see last financial year, URA failed to collect taxes by 50 billion because of businesses which are getting out, of people who are getting out of business. We are seeing, let me give an example of a caterer so that the last person down can understand me. If you're doing catering, you'll go to a market. You're buying a sweet potato, you're buying Irish, you're buying matoke. all those you're buying them without any tax on them, without any receipt on them. But when you produce and supply, they tell you you have to pay VAT. Now you're paying VAT, yet when you were buying things and purchasing, there's nothing which was charged on those things. So you find that people are running out of business because of this. We are seeing investors who are coming, going to districts like Noya, buying square miles of land. You find they are planting they are planting soya, they put their factories, they do business from grassroots up to production, up to they even have supermarkets. They produce, they take to their supermarkets. So you find we are competing with such
Honorable
people.
Minister, I hope
Right?
you've left somebody to take note.
So right, Honorable Speaker, VAT has become a problem, and also investors who come, they
Thank
start
you.
from zero and then
Thank you,
up to the market.
Catherine.
Thank you.
Catherine,
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Felix. Catherine,
Right Honourable
Felix.
Speaker, allow me to thank the Minister for trying to come up with a solution. Right Honourable Speaker, it seems that Uganda has become a dumping place. In a few months back, I was in China, but when they saw us, they were like, these people have come for their usual business. They would even ask, are you from Uganda? This is your rate. Are you from Kenya? This is your rate. So even business people have known that they are going for cheap things to bring to Uganda because of over-taxation. Right Honourable Speaker, URA is scaring away all the natives that are trying to join business because of over-taxation. Right Honourable Speaker, if you go to the business community and you keep asking, the taxes imposed to them are even higher than the capital they are having in the business. And in so doing, they have been forced to run away because of the loans they have incurred, and now they are in hiding. Where are we taking the country? If the capital, if the charges are more than the capital, are we really becoming human? Right, Honourable Speaker, I beg that the finance should also get involved and really rescue our business communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Felix.
Madam Speaker.